Hey guys, it's Gamer here, this time with another video on Reverse 1999. Been playing the game, making through the main story, and pushing the artificial somnambulism. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, as far as I can. My count is level 18 at the moment. I do want to share some extra tips I have for various things in the game to help with account progression, as I think more players are getting into the mid-game. A lot of the tips here will be going over a lot of the different systems for upgrading your unit. With all that said, let's just jump into it. So here I'm going to talk about whether or not you should skip the story. My personal preference for these gacha games is that I skip the story and I come back to it later when I have more time. The reason why I do this is because I want to spend more time actually playing the game when it first comes out to get through the early game and learn how to play. The second reason is that the storytelling in these gacha games are in a visual novel format, which tends to have a little too much lines of dialogue. And this is a bit hard for me to get into. But this is all just my personal preference, and it's really up to you. If you enjoy the storyline in games, go ahead and take your time and enjoy the story. I've heard mixed things about the story from other players. Some say the localization is not good, and some say that the story is confusing. If you're not sure if you should skip the story, go through some scenes in chapter 1 to see if you like it. If you don't, then I suggest just skipping it. The next thing I want to talk about are the current banners. So these two current banners here do share pity between each other, and the pity carries over to future banners. Every 70 summons guarantee one 6-star character. The usual rate for getting a 6-star character is 1.5%. There is a pity, and the pity is a 50-50, and if you lose the 50-50, the next 6-star unit you get will be the featured 6-star unit on the banner. The next thing I want to talk about is the Portray system. Portray is upgrading a unit by getting duplicates. Each duplicate can upgrade the Portray level, and each level gives different effects which you can read on the screen. You mainly get dupes from summoning on the banners, but events can also give duplicates as well. The next thing I want to talk about is Resonate. Resonate is another system for upgrading your unit. So every time you raise the Resonate level of a unit, it gives permanent boosts to a lot of different stats on a unit. To level up your Resonate, you need certain materials. So the main material you need is the Moment of Dissonance. So you buy Moment of Dissonance from the fragment shop, and you get currency for the shop by going through the artificial somnambulism. So the artificial somnambulism is the endgame mode for this game. It's like the Memory of Chaos in Honkai Star Rail. So you need other extra materials as well to upgrade the level of Resonate. And to see how to get these extra materials, you click on it, and it'll show you various ways you can get them. You can get them through using consumables in your warehouse. You can craft them in the wilderness. You can buy them in the pawn shop. Or you can farm various stages that you've already beat. Sometimes the material that you need will only be on the hard version of the stage, so you want to push the hard stages of the story mode as much as you can. Let's go to my warehouse. So once again, you can get these materials through consumables. So these packages here, the simple insight package, the fine insight package, by using these, you get random material. So this casket, when you use it, you can select any material you want. Once again, I would prioritize getting materials to upgrade your DPS unit the most. So when you level up your Resonate, you want to load idea. You want to do quick load, you want to confirm, and this will make sure that you've activated the stat boosts for a new Resonate level. The next thing I want to talk about is Insight. So I've talked about Insight in my previous video. Insight is limit breaking a unit so we can further upgrade the unit. Like I mentioned in my previous video, the main material you need for upgrading Insight, you get them from farming resource stages. So these are the stages for farming Insight materials. So each unit will require different material for upgrading Insight, depending on the type of unit it is. So be sure to check what material the unit needs by going to this unit screen. For example, Lilia needs Starlit Ascent. Once again, I prioritize upgrading the Insight of your DPS unit the most. Then you go on to try to upgrade the Insight for the rest of your team. So in addition to this main material, you also need other extra materials as well. You can check how to get these materials by clicking on it. And it'll show you the various ways to get that certain material. For example, you can craft in the wilderness or buy them in the pawn shop. And it's kind of similar to the extra materials for increasing Resonate level. I prioritize upgrading Insight before Resonate, as upgrading Insight is a major way of getting strong enough to progress through the content in the game. Well, a cool thing I want to talk about when it comes to Insight. So for the higher rarity units, Once you upgrade the insight of the unit to level 2, you get a different outfit and artwork for that unit. For example, this is the original Lilia, and this is Lilia at Insight level 2. So a lot of the waifu units will look a lot hotter at Insight level 2. You can see that the level 2 artwork for Lilia, you can see that her thighs are a lot thicker. This is very important to know for all the Kumers out there that play these type of gacha games. The next thing I want to talk about are Psychubes. So Psychubes are gear you can equip on your characters. I've already talked about how to farm for Psychubes in my previous video. So for the early game, you're going to have lower rarity Psychubes, and it's not as important to have the most optimal. You're just going to use whatever you have. I have mostly 4-star Psychubes equipped on my unit. Eventually later on, you'll be able to farm 6-star Psychubes when you get further into the game. So for your DPS, you mainly want to equip a Psychube that will either boost crit rate or damage. For example, for my Lilia, I have this Psychube that boosts crit rate. For your healer, you want to equip a Psychube that boosts healing done. And for your support, honestly, you can run whatever Psychube you want. For my Born Bloom, I just have this Psychube that have damage taken reduction. So you want to upgrade the level of your Psychubes when you can by engraving them. And eventually you'll reach the level cap of the Psychube, and you have to ascend them by getting certain materials to further upgrade them. For example, I need this LF polarization material, and I get them from the pawn shop or the fragment. The next thing I want to talk about is the 6-star Psycube Selector. So as a login bonus, for logging into 5 days, you get this Carrier Wave Carrier, which is a consumable that will let you choose whatever 6-star Psycube you want. So another important thing to note, you can buy Psycubes in the fragment shop. So I would never buy these 5-star Psycubes, since the 6-star Psycubes are just more worth it. So the 6-star Psycubes in this shop are all the Psycubes you can get from the Selector. I would prioritize getting a 6-star Psycube that helps your DPS do more damage the most. I think the best options for this would be Brave New World, and Hopscotch, as both have various effects that increase the strength of ultimates and the incantation rank. That Inquisitive Dare is a Psycube that's good for a healer, so that is a possible option as well. So you get these consumables from time to time called candy that give you more stamina or activity as is called in this game. Do keep in mind that these candy have time limits or they expire, so you want to use them before it's too late. There's an event called the Beginning of Tale, and it's an event that will help you learn the game. This event has you do certain tasks, and you want to do as much of these tasks as possible. Some of them have you upgrade certain characters. A lot of times, the game will return the materials once you upgrade the units to a certain point. It's worth doing these tasks in the event since it gives out a lot of rewards, such as currency for pulls and materials for upgrading your units. Also, the event will give out a duplicate for Sonata, who is a good free unit. There's also another event called After Class Exercise, and it's pretty much a bunch of combat tutorials to help you learn the combat system. It's worth doing these when you can, since it gives out currency for pulls and another duplicate for Sonata. There's a set of daily and weekly tasks that you want to try and complete to max out the reward. So the rewards are going to be currency for pulls, dust for upgrading your units, and much more. So you definitely want to keep up with completing these if you want to play the game long term. So there's also daily and weekly tasks for the rewarding jukebox, which is this game's battle pass. So doing these tasks progress the level of your jukebox, and when you get to a certain level, you get certain rewards. Rewards include dust and currency for pull. So you want to keep up with these dailies and weeklies as well. The last thing I want to talk about is how to change your home screen. To do this, go here, go click on this circle icon, and you can select whoever you want to be on your home screen. If you have different outfits for a unit unlocked, you can select whatever outfit you want them to have on the home screen. So that's it for this video. It's a lot of things I didn't mention in my first video because of a lack of time and the fact that I didn't want the video to be too long. I do plan on having other videos on things like combat, endgame team compositions, the wilderness, and the artificial somnolence. So I do plan on making content for Reverse 1999 long term. If you liked this video and want more content on Reverse 1999, Honkai Star Rail, and other gacha games, hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video.